Let me show you guys a new poll that came out, which shows the further radicalization of Trump's base. So Mediaite says, jaw-dropping poll shows only 17% of Republicans would vote for someone who believes Biden won. 17%. That's it. According to Yahoo, only 17% of Republicans and Republican-leaning independents say they, quote, would consider voting for a candidate who accurately characterizes Biden's victory as legitimate. And a whopping 59% said they definitely would not vote for any candidate who admits that Biden won the 2020 election fair and square. The pollsters say this is already having an effect. These numbers underscore the degree to which Trump's big lie, claiming Biden cheated his way into the White House, a falsehood that 3/4 of Trump voters, 74% now believe, has become a litmus test for the entire GOP. Crowding out other issues and strengthening Trump's grip on the party ahead of the 2022 midterms. For his part, Trump has made it clear that supporting his election fabrications is key to his own personal endorsement. Indeed, the former president is backing primary candidates against state officials who bucked his attempts to overturn the election. So, there was another YouGov poll released this week that found only 25% of Republicans believe Biden won the election versus 62% of all Americans who said the same. That's incredible. So 62% of Americans accurately recognize Biden won. 25% of Republicans believe Biden legitimately won the election. Only a quarter of Republicans have the non-insane belief. There's so many things about this that are both fascinating and scary. But the main one is we've never seen a situation where a party was openly this radical and extreme and fringe while still currently being an overwhelming favorite. Because all the polls on the midterms are that the Republicans are going to clean house. And at the same time, they have these just wildly out-of-bounds beliefs. Just verifiably, provably, demonstrably untrue, and obviously so. I mean, we had the 60 court cases that over the election, and Biden won virtually every single one of those cases. The only one that Trump won was over some procedural nonsense that didn't change the outcome at all. You had the Arizona audit where not only did Biden win, but he won by more than what the original count showed. I don't know what more evidence these people need, but it's not about the evidence. They have what is effectively a cultish or religious-like belief. It's a fundamentalist belief. And it's a scary situation that these guys are the favorites, even though they have these extreme beliefs, which just shows you, I'm not taking away from the brainwashing that's happened on the right, which is evil and wrong and terrible, and they have responsibility for that. They have personal agency. They're responsible for that. But at the same time, you get the sense that if the Democrats just did a half-decent job governing, the Democrats would be the overwhelming favorite going into the midterms and going into the 2024 election. If Joe Biden just cut another stimulus check, sign an executive order that expands health care to everybody in the country during a pandemic and a health crisis, take 3 big programs and Build Back Better and pass those in a universal sense, get true universal pre-K, get true paid vacation time by law, get another round of the child tax credit, and then hit the campaign trail and brag about that like nobody's business. If the Democrats just did a half-decent job, if Biden legalizes marijuana through executive order or abolishes student loan debt, just do 2 of these things that I'm talking about, you'd get the sense the Democrats would be an overwhelming favorite, but they're not because they didn't do that stuff, and they're feckless and weak and pathetic, and they can't get anything through. So it is actually a scary time in American history for that reason. Not only is everything crumbling around us, and you have climate change, and you have the pandemic, and you have a stock market that's probably going to crash, and when it crashes, it's going to hurt everybody in the process. You got all these negative things, and at the same time, you have a party that's poised to win overwhelmingly that has a belief like this. I mean, how do you even respond to that? How do you respond to a poll that says 17% of Republicans would vote for somebody who believes Biden won? So just acknowledging reality is a non-starter for Republicans. So you're going to have the further radicalization of the right. The only silver lining is this. The reason Trump won in 2016 was because he was like pseudo-populist and an outsider. But he's now gotten to the point where there's no more fake populism left in him. None. He's all angry, ornery, Fox News grandpa, One American News Network grandpa, Newsmax grandpa. And he's gonna lose normies. With this stuff, he's losing normies, no doubt about it. If you're telling 62% of the country they're wrong about something as obvious as Biden won the election, that has consequences. So I don't know what's going to happen moving forwards. If they keep leaning into this, that's going to be a problem for them. It gets you more to the point of Democrats, for the love of God, just do 2 things or something that's going to improve Americans' lives. I mean, you should do way more than that. You should do the entire agenda. Biden should break out that executive order pen and start cracking skulls in Manchin and Sinema. But it really is the worst political situation I've ever seen in my life. I think this feels even worse than, the 2016 race between Hillary and Trump. Like, it feels we've somehow devolved even further from then, which I didn't think was possible. Ever since Adpocalypse, when YouTube defunded all independent news and politics overnight, we haven't trusted them. We know they can pull the rug out from underneath us at any time. If you enjoy this content, please consider tipping $1 or $2 per month on the Secular Talk Patreon. Link in the video description box below. Thanks for your support.